Hello everyone, and welcome to Britannic 4D Simulator. You may have seen this game on the channel before, but it's been a while since the last time we checked it out, so let's see. As we all know, once you start up the game, you start on the ship. There's this little option at the top, so we can see what you can see what she was supposed to look like. We'll get a better view. And here's what she became, the hospital ship. If we click below ship, we can do an exploration. So, here is the ship. What she was meant to look like for passenger service until the war came. And what bugs me is they should have like the little indent on the well deck, because that's what Britannic had before becoming the hospital ship. And now, here is the night. Here's what she would have looked like sailing at night if she was in a passenger service. But nope, she became a hospital service. And unfortunately, there was no lights near the funnel, like in the passenger version. Interesting. So now, after we checked out some views of the HMHS and RMS Britannic, I think it's time we see the real-time sinking. Yes, this game has a real-time sinking, just like Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean. I know Titanic 4D Simulator has a sinking too, but that's premium, and I don't have that, so I'll have to wait before I can do the sinking of the Titanic. So here we go. As you just heard, the mine has hit the ship. So this won't have like all the alarms, or this won't have the alarms or the moving telegraphs like Britannic Patroness of the Mediterranean. Oh, we can't get into the wheelhouse, which is a bummer. But yeah, there's no clock on in the wheelhouse showing the real-time sync. And unfortunately, there is no way to get to the interior of this game, which is a bummer. But I believe over there is Machinosis. And if we just Flappy Bird jump, you can barely see it, but I think right there off in the distance, that is Kia. You gotta be careful when you're Flappy Bird jumping, otherwise you could fall off the ship, and if you land in the water, you are dead. I like how they have the accurate stern lifeboat configuration. I actually like. You remember how on Titanic's lifeboats, it was just the white lifeboat with the black stripe? Well, I actually like what they did on Britannic is keep the white lifeboat, but add a green stripe and had the brown stripe. But this game does not show that, which is a super bummer. So right now, it's 8:13. The ship went down, had fully sunk somewhere around 9:09 a.m. But yeah, you could tell it's the real-time sinking because it says real-time on the side. So yeah, so lifeboats will get ready at 8:18 a.m. And we can actually get a nice overview of the ship if you click the ship option here. So if you look, got a bit dark because my camera was in the water, just like how it does that in Roblox Britannic, but as we can see here, pretty hard to notice the list. Yeah, pretty hard to notice the list. So, so this is how the Britannic sinking would have looked like if you guys were on the Britannic in 1916. I know there is probably no longer any. I know there is no longer Britannic survivors around, but if there was still some Britannic survivors, that would be pretty cool. But if you look right here on the bridge, like, we stand in the middle, you can sort of see a list. And usually on Roblox Britannic, sorry if I'm moving so fast, it's just I click the 3 times button, and if you click that to go back to the 1 times speed, you just go super fast. So I know in Roblox Britannic, there's like doorways in here to get into the interior. Fortunately, this game does not have that, but I'm hoping one of these days, the creator who made Olympic 4D Simulator, Titanic 4D Simulator, and this game, hopefully they will update the game to so you can actually go inside the interior like Roblox Britannic. So yeah. I'm gonna see if I can Flappy Bird my way up on top of one of these funnels. You can see the funnel had gotten pretty dirty from all the smoke. But if there was just more smoke coming out of the engine, the funnel, and that top yellow part was fully covered in coal dust, she would have had her original black funnel tops. Oh yeah, if you look at it right here, you can tell the ship has a list. Just like Lusitania. Now, there ain't a Lusitania 4D simulator of this game yet, but I'm hoping there will be soon. Developer of Olympic 4D Simulator, Titanic 4D Simulator, and Britannic 4D Simulator, please make a Lusitania 4D Simulator, because that would be interesting. I got stuck on the stairwell. And these lifeboats will slowly start lowering automatically, unlike Roblox Britannic, where you need 2 people to do it. But unfortunately, it doesn't actually show the crank rotating, because the crank ain't there. Britannic 4D Simulator, it's pretty much a realistic version of this game. Oh yeah, she has a pretty bad list now. Most of the bow is underwater. The only downside is there's no hole during the Britannic damage. Well, the mine damage, unlike Roblox Britannic, where you actually see the hole form after the mine hits. And I actually like how the developer keeps the propellers rotating, but one of these propellers will not be rotating. I believe this propeller right here would not be rotating. It would just be the middle one and this one. That was rotating because the mine blast damaged the rudder, so it would just be the central and this propeller right here that would be turning the ship. Oh crap. Lifeboats are getting ready to leave the ship. I gotta get on one of these bad boys. Okay, don't want to fall in the water, otherwise that's game over. Okay, these lifeboats should soon start lowering. Like, once I saw the lifeboats on the stern getting ready to launch, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta get ready. I believe one of these lifeboats are going to get, well, you know the story of Britannic's lifeboats. So far, none of the lifeboats on this side are launching. Actually, the lifeboats on these sides are a bit lower. Yeah, one of these gantry davits will be jammed. So yeah, and it looks like this propeller has actually stopped. So now it's just these two propellers rotating to try and turn the ship. Okay, none of our lifeboats are being launched yet. Oh, look at that. The gantry davits are about to launch their lifeboats. So let's Flappy Bird our way onto this lifeboat. Whoa, I fell. No. And you get in the lifeboat. I'm stuck. No. Okay, there we go. I swear, if I got off that okay, those lifeboats right there are not launching. No, I'm stuck on the railing. Into the lifeboat. And there we go, we're on our lifeboat. Good thing we're not on the side where the propellers are spinning. Okay, another lifeboat has to launch. So now we're turning and heading away from the ship. Just like in Britannic Patroness and of the Mediterranean. And Roblox Britannic. Oh yeah, you can definitely see how much the ship has gone under. And I believe some of the portholes were actually open. So that led water to spread through the ship and make it sink faster. Fun fact about me, I actually own one of the staircase floorboards of the Olympic, and I don't know where I put it, so I can't show you guys it, but it has a little remnants of green paint on the Olympic, because in 1913, that's when the Olympics grand staircase was painted. Okay, 3 more lifeboats have just been launched. So none of the lifeboats on this side have launched yet. Probably because these guys are still running. But it's going to be too late to turn the ship. So if we look at this propeller, so these 2 propellers are going to start slowing down. This lifeboat was lucky because if it got drifted, it could have hit that hit one of the propellers. Oh, the lifeboat on this side has also launched, but we don't see it because it probably got chopped up by the propeller. But yeah, lifeboats are doing their best to get away from the ship. Oh look, there's another lifeboat launching. And then these well davits will come back and attach to these remaining lifeboats on board the ship. So yeah, 8:23 a.m. here in 1916, November 21st, 1916, and things are not looking too good for Britannic. Lifeboats are doing their best to get away from the ship. Let's see how far our lifeboat traveled out. That's a pretty good distance from the ship. That's just like an eerie shot. Imagine if James Cameron was making a Britannic movie. Like, he saw the original Britannic movie from 2000, and he's like, this Britannic movie sucks. It's not even an accurate story of the Britannic, because there was never a U-boat in the Britannic story. So, James Cameron made a new Britannic movie. That would be interesting. And that gantry davit is lowering its next lifeboat. The crew better hurry because water's heading up to the well deck pretty quick. Oh, why, look at that. I believe you can see a white piece on the ocean floor which resembles a lifeboat. Okay, lifeboats on these sides are now trying to get away. None are getting chopped up by the propellers. That's sad. I wish that would actually happen, so it would be a bit more accurate. This lifeboat is now launching, but I think on the angle of the ship right now, I don't think these lifeboats will be able to launch because of the angle. Well, these lifeboats would definitely not be able to launch because the angle of the ship. The only interior we can really see is the promenades of all the beds on both sides. Well, I mean, there's some yeah, because if you look at the ship, like, we're inside the hull right now. There's no interior. The only remnants of interior you can see right there is the second grand staircase. The second class grand staircase. Okay, this gantry David's now lowering its lifeboat, and soon these two should. But these lifeboats are not open because this gantry davit right here, I believe, got jammed. But the second to last lifeboat is being launched on this side. The lifeboats on these sides are still waiting for launch, as this gantry davit is lowering its first lifeboat. Fortunately, you cannot see the ropes. Hey, look, so that's the last lifeboat that has been launched for this regular davit. And the last lifeboat for this gantry davit is launching. Well, swinging out, and then will be launched. And then this gantry davit will stay in the outer position and will get crushed on the ocean floor when Britannic lands on her side. Look how much the propellers are out of the water. Well, this propeller has stopped, but why is this propeller still running? You're out of the water, my friend, propeller. You are not able to beach the ship, but it would actually be cool if they were able to beach the ship and Britannic was in passenger service and hopefully would have became a hotel. Well, she probably would have been laid up for scrapped, but then World War II probably would have saved the ship. But according to Ocean Liner's designs video of what if the Britannic never sank, she would have sank in World War II by a U-boat while being renamed as the HMS Resolute. But if Britannic actually survived World War II as the HMS Resolute, she would have probably been renamed RMS Britannic and probably would have been scrapped in the 50s like Aquitania. But it would have been cool if Britannic was able to become a hotel ship. Something even better would have been cool if Olympic was able to become a hotel ship. 8:28 a.m. and things are not looking too good for Britannic here. Her well deck and forecastle is about to flood pretty soon, as the Britannic nameplate is about to go underwater. This Britannic nameplate has a little more chance of being dried until being flooded, and yeah, this Britannic nameplate is about to flood. And something cool is you can visually you might have to squint or zoom in but you could visually just see the ship rolling and going under the water. Yeah, just like what I was talking about earlier, the Scantry David is now stuck in the is now going to stay in the outer position before getting crushed. None of these lifeboats are getting launched yet. So, none of these regular Davids are launching their last lifeboats yet. Or the stern lifeboat gantries are not lowering their lifeboats yet. Man, why is this propeller still turning? I mean, it's trying to save the ship, but you're out of the water, my friend. You can't save the ship anymore. Yeah, if you go under like this, you can actually see some interior of the second class grand staircase. But it just goes down the staircase, no interior. Bummer, but hopefully they'll add interior. But I think if you look... No, that ain't interior. But I hope this game will get interior, just like the Titanic 4D simulator. Because I really want... Pretty much the only game that has a sinking experience where you can go into the interior is Roblox Titanic and Britannic. And Roblox Oceanos. So, it would be cool if Titanic, Fall of a Legend, Britannic, Patroness of the Mediterranean, even that, like, Lusitania visual simulator of the ship going down, like, that would be cool to have interior. Okay, this ship took 55 minutes to sink, and we're already 22 minutes into this video. So, I'm assuming this is what the ship would have looked like in 22 minutes. I don't know, but her nameplate slowly going underwater. So, yeah. Yeah, majority of the lifeboats on this side couldn't get their lifeboats launched because of the angle. And I believe the first motorboat has just been launched. Okay, 2 lifeboats over here have been launched. And this gantry David is swinging out its next lifeboat, while the other gantry David's coming in. This lifeboat should start getting raised. Yep, that next lifeboat being raised, and it will swing over, and then will be lowered. I mean, if I could get to this deck, we could probably head down into the interior, into the the second class grand staircase. You know what? We should do that for the next sinking. And there goes that lifeboat being launched. Then this gantry David will come back in and swing out the motorboat. And we'll launch the motorboat. As this gantry David's now coming out, it's going to launch this lifeboat. Yeah, you can slowly see this gantry David coming back in to attach to the motorboat and then lower it. This lifeboat now lowering. Gonna be lowering soon. But none of these regular Davids are swinging out these lifeboats. I get why these Davids ain't swinging out these lifeboats because of the angle of the ship. So it makes sense why. Let's check on the well deck. Oh, it ain't looking too good. Britannic's well deck is about to flood. Soon it will make it up to B deck, and then A deck, and then boat deck. then make its way up the boat deck, and get up to the stern, and final plunge. But yeah, this motorboat, now being raised, now is swinging out. How come this gantry davit's going like super fast to get their lifeboats off the ship, while this gantry davit's like calm and chill while lowering these lifeboats? I don't get it. But yeah, the second motorboat is being launched. This gantry davit is raising its lifeboat up pretty fast too. Okay, now the lifeboat is moving. Oh no, that's because the gantry davit's moving. Yeah, so none of these lifeboats are able to get launched because this gantry davit right here that I'm looking at with the white tarp covering the lifeboats is jammed. So only 3 out of the 4 gantry davits at the stern of the vessel were able to work during the sinking. I mean, if Titanic was able to get more lifeboats on the ship, like if Titanic had Britannic's gantry davits in the same position as we see the gantry davits on Britannic, more people definitely would have gotten off the ship and less people would have died on Titanic. But yeah, the second to last lifeboat for this gantry davit right here is launching. Oh wow. It's just lifeboat party on this side. That's just an eerie sight. Just seeing Britannic's bow dipping down. Wonder how the crew and nurses would have been seeing Britannic go down. And Britannic, for most people who don't know, Britannic was the largest ship lost in the First World War. Originally, I believe it was Lusitania, I think. But then after the sinking of Britannic, she was the largest ship lost in the war. But it's pretty cool how Britannic and Olympic were in the First World War. But if Titanic never sank and made it into the First World War, it would have been so cool to see all 3 Olympic class liners in World War One. That would be sick. That would have been cool. Seeing Titanic become a hospital ship and follow the same route as Britannic, man, that would have also been cool. I don't get why for the Olympic skipped hospital ship service and just got painted from her black funnel configuration to her dazzle paint schemes configuration. I don't get that. And I don't get why either Mauritania and Aquitania had their funnels painted black like Lusitania and Olympic. Mauritania and Aquitania probably had their funnels painted black like Lusitania. And I just don't know that. Or Mauritania and Aquitania never had their funnels painted black. Maybe, who knows, the Olympic was secretly converted into a hospital ship, and I just don't know that. But yeah, this gantry davit has launched all of its lifeboats. Same with this gantry davit right here. It's just one last lifeboat for this gantry davit before all of them are stuck in the outer position. Except for this one. Except for this gantry davit right there because it's jammed. 8:38 a.m. and things are not looking too good for Britannic. But man, this propeller. Just a champ. Just still spinning, trying to save the ship. Come on. In real life, this propeller definitely would have been turned off by now. But yeah, water slowly creeping up. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Yep, yep. The well deck of Britannic is now flooding. Won't be long until the entire well deck is flooded. There's actually a cool option I want to show you. But I don't want to do that, otherwise it will ruin the real-time syncing. So I'll show you that in a different video. But yeah, Britannic's well deck is slowly starting to flood. You can just see the water. You can just see the water just slowly just pouring and moving forwards on Britannic's well deck. I mean, Britannic's wreck is sorta in good condition. I mean, if we tried, we could like raise Britannic up and make her a hotel ship, like paint her scrape all the rust off and all the like ocean greens and all that stuff, and paint her lower hull red and her upper hull black, and give her the white star line yellow on her funnel bottom and the black funnel tops, and the correct amount of gantry davits Britannic was supposed to have, and she became a hotel, which is pretty cool. So now those two oh yep, these 3 regular davits have just swung out their last lifeboats. I'm assuming these 2 other regular davits will do the same. 32 minutes into the sync. Well, 32 minutes in the video already. And it's 8:41 in game. Oh, yeah, Britannic's forecastle deck, which is the deck with this cargo hold right here. Britannic's forecastle deck is now going to flood. Oh yeah, Britannic's forecastle deck is now flooding. Doesn't help that you put fences on the well deck. Oh well. And Britannic's anchors are now going to get covered in Argent Sea water, along with the well deck. But once the forecastle deck fully floods and the forecastle deck water fully reaches the well deck water, things are not going to go too well for Britannic, as the last few lifeboats are just turning away from the ship. How many lifeboats have joined us? Man, that's quite a lot. And you can just see the 2 by the ship just sailing away. But by now, oh yeah, this propeller is now slowing down and will come to a stop after trying its best to save the ship. Like, can we get a W in the chat for this propeller trying to save the ship while its central propeller that was also trying to rescue the ship was off this long? Just W in the chat for that propeller. Yeah, soon these 2 lifeboats have to launch. But if we just look at the stern and just look at this angle, that's pretty eerie. But if we look on this, but if you're standing like on this well deck that was covered, and you see the slight angle of the ship, that's even more scary. But yeah, so far things are not looking too good for Britannic. Her well deck is going to flood even more as the water reaches up to the fences. Oh wow. Oh wow, this is getting really bad. This is just getting very bad. Bad indeed. Bad indeed. It's getting very bad. Oh man, yeah, this is getting really bad. Just gonna get rid of a few notifications. Oh yeah, her forecastle deck is really flooding. Yeah, most of the entire bow is now almost the entire bow underwater. Oh yeah, this is getting really bad. More water flooding on the well deck. Soon the water will climb up the stairs. Oh yeah, this propeller, after doing its best to save the ship, just coming to a stop. So, can we get a W in the chat for this propeller? For doing its best to save Britannic? Yeah, by now, most people on the ship is off. Except for 8 lifeboats that are still on the ship. I get why these lifeboats ain't launching due to the angle, but come on. You could swing, just look how much the regular davit swings out. You could and launch the lifeboat. But yeah, back on at the bow, things are just not looking good. Soon, water is now just climbing up the staircase to get to the forecastle deck. Things are just not looking good for Britannic. But I don't get why they had to connect these. But I don't get why they had to make the cargo hold this design. You could have just made the design like you could just make the 2 cargo holds on the well deck similar to Titanic's design. But as this cargo hold is now going under. Oh yeah, this is getting very bad. Oh wow, yeah, water's about to get onto B deck soon. B deck is this promenade right here. This is B deck. This is A deck. B deck is non-existent. Well, you could expect B deck is non-existent because these windows, you can't even see anything through them. But yeah, water is just gonna flood up onto B deck here soon. And soon, the water will climb up this staircase right here. And we'll just get up onto A deck and then onto the boat deck. And then this first funnel is going to collapse. These ropes will give way and the first funnel will collapse. Oh wow. The majority of the well deck is now covered in water. And this, I believe, cargo hold is now being flooded. Majority of the forecastle deck is also gone. Oh, yep, you can just see it right here. Water now flooding onto B deck. 8:48 a.m. and Britannic is doomed at this point. Yep, all 3 propellers have stopped. No chance of rescuing the ship by now. Yeah, Britannic is going down to the bottom of the Kia Channel. Never got a single paying passenger on board. Only just wounded soldiers, nurse, and her crew. Hi, cat. Hi, my kitty. We also got Oliver the cat with us. Can't see him, of course, because I don't have my face cam on. But if I did, I would have been able to show you Oliver. Dude, cat just scratched me. No scratching. Anyway, back to Britannic. Oh yeah, B deck. The B deck promenade is going to flood. But I mean, B deck ain't. The B deck promenade is not flooding because B deck is not existent. Well, yeah. Well, this is also B deck, and it's also in existence. Yeah. This right here. No, not here. That's A deck. This is B deck. Right here with the second grand staircase open, and that's B deck. That's also existing. Oh, there's 2 entries to the second grand staircase. But the one where the camera is, this is B deck. And here is A deck. A deck is just blocked off by a wall. As we all know on Britannic, there was a wall separating the promenade. Oh, yep. Britannic's bow is almost fully underwater because this fence is still showing. But after that goes, Britannic's bow is fully underwater. And things are not looking too good for B deck. I forgot what this nameplate here was for, but anybody knows, please let me know in the comments what that number plate was for. But yeah, B deck is not looking too good. I mean, at least the ship is getting a nice wash. Like a hose down. Well, not really a hose down. More like a bad hose down. Because if it was getting a hose down, the bow would not be like this. And lifeboats would not be in the water. Oh, and I forgot to mention, A deck is now slowly flooding. So yeah, water is about to come up to boat deck here pretty soon. So yeah, that's not good. Yeah, things are just not looking too good for Britannic. If you're wondering what this thing on the bridge right here, I believe this is the Monkey's Island. Yes, that's what they call it on the ship. Monkey's Island. Interesting. Oh yeah, this hallway, the A deck promenade, as we see right here, is now flooding. Now, if this was as realistic as Britannic patroness of the Mediterranean, all these beds on this side would slide into these beds that are getting covered in water pretty quick. Same for this side of the beds. Because of the angle, these beds right here would slide into those beds. just like how it did in Britannic, Patroness of the Mediterranean. Oh yeah, this is getting really bad. The entrance of A deck on this side and the entrance to the boat deck is now blocked by water. Your only exit, well, entrance to get to A deck and get to the stern is this side, or just climb up the staircase and get to and run on boat deck trying to get to the stern. So far, no well, there is water flooding in the staircase, so never mind. Imagine if you were just look down the staircase and you just see water flooding up onto A deck. I mean, boat deck. That would be scary. Oh wow, the ship is rolling so fast, so the water is actually climbing up this staircase. Actually, that is bad. Oh yep, boat deck is now flooding. The boat deck is flooding. That is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Very bad indeed. So yeah, she's going down in real time. So real time means like how the real time of how the ship actually went down. So I believe somewhere like, I know I said 9:09 earlier, but I believe like somewhere in around 9:09, 9:10, 9:11, 9:12 a.m. That's when the ship will fully go down. But yeah, the bridge wing, this bridge wing is now flooding, and now the bridge is flooding. Yeah. The wheelhouse, almost forgot the name of it there, is now going to be flooding pretty soon. Number plate is going down too. Oh wow. Even though there's water like literally almost near the door, the wheelhouse ain't flood. I said that too soon. Let me rephrase that. Wheelhouse is flooding. Now I believe if you look down through this vent, down through that vent would have been, I believe, boiler room number 6. And this vent here would have been boiler room number 5. And then the vent near the 3rd funnel would, I believe, the vent near the 3rd funnel, I believe that would have been boiler room number 4. And the vent near the 4th funnel, that would have been boiler number 2. From what I'm going off of my Britannic knowledge. But yeah, majority of boat deck is flooding. You guys better get these lifeboats off the ship. Well, I mean, you can't because of the angle at the ship at this point. And by now, this first funnel is about to collapse. So let's watch it. Because that last funnel is about to that first funnel is going to collapse at any moment. Yeah, that first funnel should collapse at any moment. I mean, if the Centaur existed at the same time as Britannic, like if the Centaur was like launched in 1913 or 14 and made it into 1916, she would have been able to rescue the Britannic survivors, so making the Centaur and Roblox Britannic rescuing the survivors accurate. And there goes the first funnel. But, yeah. And now it's only 3 funnels remaining. Oh my. She looks like the RMS Majestic. Well, without the first funnel. And then the second funnel, and then the third funnel on the RMS Majestic. 4th funnel, as we all know, dummy funnel. Just like on Olympic and Titanic. This is inaccurate. There would not be a roof here. This would have been another hole going all the way down into the boiler room. Well, 9 o'clock here on the Britannic, and things are not looking too good. Oh man, we just missed the second funnel collapse. Well, there it is, underwater, and into the ocean floor. And her bow is nearly about to strike bottom. Apparently, the seafloor is not real because the second funnel just phased through the ground. Well, this propeller is going back into the water. Oh, wow. The ship's actually turning. Oh, there goes the third funnel. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. She's going down she's going down fast. Once it got to, this moment, she's going down fast. Once it got to 9:01, she's going fast. Well, at least the propellers are going back in the water, just like how they're supposed to. The last funnel is just about to collapse. Let's watch it. Let's watch the 4th funnel collapse together. 4th funnel is going to collapse pretty soon. 4th funnel's ropes are about to give way. Well, they are. 4th funnel's ropes have gave way because they're not holding the funnel. And the 4th funnel is going to collapse at any moment. Why didn't the gantry davit launch this way? Why didn't this gantry davit launch this lifeboat? Interesting. There's no chance they could have launched these lifeboats anyway because of the angle of the ship. And did we? Oh, unfortunately, we missed the collapse of the 4th funnel. But there it goes, sliding off the ship. Probably in reality, that funnel would have got caught in the gantry davits. And the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th funnel were all crushed when the ship landed on her side. That's why the 1st funnel is the only funnel near the wreck. All smashed and flattened. I actually like how they painted. I actually like how this model has some of the anchor painted green, just like how the real Britannic anchor was. But yeah, there's her stern. There's her stern in the water, just about to go under. I was completely wrong. She is going to go down at somewhere near 9:03, 9:04, 9:05. Here's the angle from the lifeboat. Pretty crazy. But let's watch the and she's so if the seafloor was just longer where Britannic sank, she would have sank like Titanic's final plunge. where after the split and the ship turned, when the ship split, Titanic probably would have had a list when she split it, and then probably went back to an even keel, and during the final plunge, Titanic would have listed. That's how the final plunge of Titanic was. But then Titanic and Nick's stern leveled out, and after a massive explosion in the stern, that's how Titanic's stern is laying flat. Yeah, if you're wondering why Titanic's stern was very damaged, it's because of the explosion at the stern. I believe it was like some sort of boiler explosion or engine explosion. But yeah, Britannic's bow has hit the bottom, so now the bow will twist and break off, and the stern will just sink. Hey, at least the propellers are underwater again, just not working. But yeah, stern of Britannic is going down. Still crazy to think Lusitania sank in 1950, and that was a loss for Cunard Line. But 1 year later, Britannic sank. That's crazy how Lusitania and Britannic were 1 year away from sinking. And the sinking of Britannic was definitely a loss. And the sinking of Britannic was definitely a loss for White Star Line. I like how they have the propeller notice. Notice, this vessel has triple screws. Keep clear of blades. And there goes the stern. The stern is just about to go under. And yeah. Wow, they couldn't even get most of the lifeboats off. But they got a majority of the lifeboats off, so that's good. But they couldn't get the stern lifeboats off and the other side on boat deck lifeboats off because, one, the gantry davit was jammed and they couldn't even launch the lifeboats due to the list of the ship. But yeah, her stern is just about to go under. And sinking has kind of slowed down now. Britannic sank in 55 minutes, and this video's past 55 minutes. Crazy! This is definitely going to be a 1 hour video. And there goes the stern of Britannic. Last thing that remains is the docking bridge. And now the davit, and there she is. Underwater. And there is the Britannic on her side. 19. So, yeah. That was the sinking. So, let's say a few years have passed, and it's present day. And you can hear the water. But yeah, if we just move about, there is the Britannic wreck. See what I was talking about? The first funnel being the only one on the wreck. Yeah, her gantry davits have been crushed, as you can see right there. Yeah, so here's the wreck of the Britannic, and here is a view of the wreck. So, yeah. So, guys, that was Britannic 4D Simulator. Hope you enjoyed. See you later. So, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Actually, before we go, if you click the real time, it will actually speed the sinking up and the time. So, I better get to a lifeboat quick. No, I'm stuck. Help, help, I'm stuck. Oh no. I died. The water does kill ya. in this game, resulting in a game over. But yeah, clicking the real time will speed up the sinking process. So we just wait for a lifeboat to get ready. There we go. Get on the lifeboat. There we go. You have launched. And there is a speed up version of Britannic sinking. You can just see how much the ship has turned during the sinking, which is crazy. Yeah, so if you just press the real time, if you just click the real time button, Britannic will sink faster. You could just see, oh wow, I didn't realize how much the Britannic had turned. There goes funnels. That's how much Britannic turned. And there she goes. So that was kind of like a time-lapse sinking of Britannic. So that was interesting. And there she is. Oh, that was interesting. Bye.